Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tara. Dana is my cousin and one of my best friends. I would like to start off by congratulating the bride and groom on their beautiful day. It meant so much to me to see my best friend marry the man of her dreams. While Dana and I have known each other since birth, something you might not know is the relationship between Kenny and I. We attended elementary school together, and besides this, Kenny was my crush. I have TS plus KC equals forever written on many inside covers of notebooks. So while Kenny and I never worked out, I'm so glad to see my best friend with a man who cares so much for her. So while I was love-struck for Kenny, Dana and I were making mud pies on Grandma's deck and playing in the creek. We are the founding and only members of the Horse Club, and have provided many hours of entertainment for our families with our skits performed in Grandma's living room. As we've grown older and moved apart, we're both very thankful for our My5 plans, Skype, and a tank of gasoline. The summer following our high school graduation, Dana decided it was time for me to learn how to shoot a gun. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my clumsy nature has made many reluctant to allow me to handle firearms. So upon gathering up a .22 from Grandpa, with the impression that only Dana was going to be shooting it, we headed out to the field to find some gophers. Lo and behold, across the coulee, we see a coyote. Of course, the competitive nature set in as I said, "I bet you can't hit it from here." So Dana got all propped up against a fence post, got that coyote in sight, and kaboom! The coyote dropped. Everything may have been fine if Annie Hope hadn't witnessed the whole event from the living room window. Dana, worried about the trouble she was going to get into, welled up some big crocodile tears before her dad could show up to give her heck. But in the midst of all this, she burst out laughing and said, "Dang, I'm a good shot." Being my so much older and wiser cousin, Dana has always felt able to offer me advice, even if it was something she knew nothing about. So I felt this would be a perfect opportunity to return the favor. Since I cannot draw from my own experiences, I had to utilize some outside sources. The following advice is from a 1955 edition of Housekeeping Monthly. And just so you know, Dana, I spoke with Tracy, and she expects her son to be treated this way. Have dinner ready. Plan ahead, even the night before, to have a delicious meal ready on time for his return. This is a way of letting him know that you have been thinking about him and are concerned about his needs. Over the cooler months of the year, you should prepare and light a fire for him to unwind by. Your husband will feel he has reached a safe haven of rest and order, and it will give you a lift too. After all, catering for his comfort will provide you with immense personal satisfaction. Listen to him. You may have a dozen of important things to tell him, but remember, his topics of conversation are more important than yours. Be happy to see him. It's funny to think how much married life has changed over the past 50 years. If I was you, Kenny, I wouldn't get my hopes up. Except on maybe the last one. A more realistic piece of advice, perhaps, comes from the lyrics of a country song. Be a best friend, tell the truth. Overuse, I love you. Go to work and do your best. Don't outsmart your common sense. Never let your praying knees get lazy, and love like crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, let's raise our glasses to the beautiful bride.